Hello guys and welcome to the Traitors US, and today we're going to be talking about episode 6, and I gotta say this was a bit of a disappointing episode, mostly because of the way it ended, but yeah, pretty much just because of the way it ended. I'll be 100% honest. This show is suffering from a 45-minute runtime currently. It's really having a rough time fitting everything in, making sure that everything is fitting into that 45-minute time limit, and it just isn't getting to breathe. We are spending too much time on missions, not enough time on the actual game itself, and then they just randomly throw in some shitty cliffhangers that don't really do anything for the episode and kind of leave you sitting there going, well, I'm pissed off now. I'm gonna have to watch the next episode, but like, I'm pissed off that you've made me, you've stopped me right here in order to create a cheap cliffhanger. Yeah, I'm not entirely pleased with how this episode handled that. But guys, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. We are only 7 subscribers away from 600, which is absolutely wild. I don't know how we've managed to get there. It's the 20th of February currently, and you guys are well ahead of schedule. I said 600 by the end of March, then it was by the end of Feb, and now it's looking like potentially by the end of Wednesday. So guys, keep hitting that subscribe button if you're enjoying what you're seeing. If you like me, if you like the videos, make sure to join the ranters. That's what you guys are called now, I've decided, because it's just funny listening to some people rant in the comment section down below. It's actually hilarious, and you guys are so funny sometimes. So without much further ado, let's get into the video. Make sure you subscribe in. So, as I predicted at the end of the last episode, the shocking knock at the door was just Alan coming through and telling them that they're going to have to put 3 people on trial. I feel like my enjoyment of this series is slightly hindered by the fact that I've seen UK1, and UK1 is a much better series. And they're using the same twists. They mixed it up. I remember the trial twist being done episode 4, or like late episode 3, early episode 4. But here it was used as like episode 6 mostly, and it feels a little bit different the later into the game it's played, purely because it starts to mean that there are less people, and therefore the focus is really on the people on the trial. But then also, I feel like it's a dangerous, I don't know, it's a really, really dangerous game to be playing, the trial game, so late into the series, because if you do put a traitor up there, then it's more likely they're going to get found out, etc, etc. But I think they actually played this very, very well. I think they did a really, really fantastic job. It's not often that I sort of congratulate the traitors on a good move, but I do think that this was a good move. They decided to put Kate because people already think she's a traitor, and therefore if she's in the trial, people are going to think that she might be a traitor still. They also put Rachel because the people are suspicious of her, and they also put Angelica because no one's suspicious of her. So in my head, they are currently setting Rachel or Kate up to be banished, and then they're going to kill Angelica. And that seems like a smart idea. It seems like a smart plan. It's a good way of getting 2 faithful out in a row and really just saving their behinds once again. I think it's a strong plan, but it's easily unraveled, because yes, people are suspicious of Kate, but there's also a significant portion of people that believe that Kate's just being a bad faithful and just can't be bothered, and I feel like that's then going to work against them. Same with Rachel. Not a lot of people are backing Rachel. The main people who are Kate and Cody. So I don't know whether that will have much sort of like momentum going forward. Angelica is just an interesting choice, but I think that she is the murder bait. She's the one that they're going to murder when the time comes. So, when it came to breakfast, a couple of interesting things that happened were that Kate feels like she's being held hostage in this game. She is done. She wants out. She is so over this game, and it's so refreshing to see someone like that. Everybody that we've seen in the game, or everyone that I've seen in all iterations of the game, have been very much like, I'm playing to win, we're here to get the traitors out. Whereas Kate's just like, oh, I just can't fucking be bothered anymore. I'm so done with this bullshit. And you know what? I kind of do like that. I think it's a breath of fresh air. I think it's really, really funny. And she's proving herself to actually be one of the most entertaining people that I've ever watched on a series of the Traitors, which is absolutely crazy. I really didn't expect it, but she's definitely like top 5, maybe even top 10 people from a Traitors series, because she's just so funny and makes me chuckle all the time with just the way that she's just so pissed off with everything all the time. Andy said that she feels quite close to Sari, which I feel like is really going to work against her in the end. Obviously, Sari is a traitor, and Andy trusting her, it's just not looking good for Andy. Bless her. I think that a lot of people are going to walk out of this game with trust issues, and Andy could be one of them. So what happened is what's his face? Alan walked into the room and was like, everyone, Amanda has unfortunately had to leave the castle, but moving swiftly on. And I was like, huh? What do you mean Amanda's left the building? What's going on? I feel like I needed a little bit more explanation than just, she's gone from the castle and she won't be coming back. Is she okay? Has she gone for medical reasons? Has she quit? Like, what's going on here? Because this is the first time that we've had someone not turn up to breakfast, but also not be murdered and just left the game. Like, has this happened on another series that I'm not aware of? Because this was a little bit of a crazy moment, and I was kind of like, what's going on? Huh? Hello? Yoo-hoo! What's going on? And Alan just gave me absolutely nothing. I really want to look it up, but I also don't want to get spoilers on this. So if anybody knows what happened to her without any spoilers for the rest of the series, please put it in the comment section down below, and I will trust you guys on that. And then once the series is over, I'll do a little bit of research myself. But I am genuinely curious as to what the story is there. Just seemed a little bit weird and out of place. So quickly before we get into the mission, I just wanted to point out the fact that Kate is, like I said, so over the game. She's ready to go home, and she is literally shouting in the castle, Rachel is a traitor, Rachel is a traitor. It's just very entertaining, and I don't think we've ever had this kind of like chaotic energy in the castle before, and I just think it's absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. It's so entertaining. On the flip side, we've got Steph spreading Cody's name around, which I think is smart. Cody obviously is a traitor and Steph's onto him, and people are starting to pick up on it and also starting to turn their heads towards his direction and being like, I think it might be him. So if we were to get into the mission, this was the barrel rolling mission, and there was nothing that interesting to report. They managed to make $16,800 out of this mission. They had to roll it across the glen to the old brewery or distillery or whatever it was called. And essentially, the trial was just people trying to roll big barrels. The shield barrels, they had to get all 3 shield barrels to the end in order to unlock 3 armory passes. If they didn't get all 3, then they got nothing. The armory passes ended up going to... who did it end up going to? Angelica, Rachel, and Ari, which I thought was interesting. No one wanted to give one to Kate. And why did they not want to give one to Kate? Well, there's a very, very valid reason, because the entire trial, she did absolutely nothing. She was slow, she was moaning, she was like whinging, and it was so entertaining. But the reason why I didn't get pissed off with it was because she made a very, very valid reason as to why she wasn't helping the team. She knows that she's going home, so why should she help other people raise money for themselves to win? She knows she's not going to win, because everyone thinks she's a traitor and she wants out. So, like, why should she help them raise money that she's not going to benefit from? Which I do understand to an extent. Like, I think it makes sense. Also, this is a fucking hard mission. They have to roll barrels up hills, down hills, round the bends, over the hills, under the bridge. It's just stupid, and it's a lot of effort for something that, like, admittedly is not great rewards unless you make it to the end. So at one point she was carrying 4 barrels and she just started chucking them into the field and getting rid of the money and losing the money. It was so entertaining and funny, and honestly, I gotta rate her for it. It was an interesting choice, but definitely an entertaining one. Also, just before I end off this section, Ari was the one that got the shield, meaning that Rachel and Angelica are still open to be murdered tonight, but I don't know which way it's going to go. So, yeah, let's move on. So, we now have some suspicions before we head into the round table. There was a trio of Quentin, Shelby, and Sari, and they were basically wondering whether, because they all believe that Kate is a faithful, but they're also wondering whether it's worth voting her out now, because they don't want her making it to the end, because, like, the last couple of missions are going to be tough, and therefore they want someone that's going to give it their all to try and earn the money. It's an interesting one because, like, now it's becoming a tactic of not getting the traitors out and actually who's going to help us get the most money, which is a really weird way of looking at the game, considering if traitors make it to the end, you get nothing anyway. So it is just a bit of a, like, I don't know. Would you rather, as a faithful, make it to the end with other faithfuls or potentially traitors? I don't know. It was a little bit of a weird one, but also I understood where they were coming from. Christian has made an interesting move, and this is what made me excited for the round table. Christian was dropping Cody's name with Steph, agreeing with her with the fact that he could be a traitor. He then pulled Sari aside and went, I think I'm going to write Cody's name on my slate tonight. Will you back me? And Sari's sitting there like, fuck. Okay. Because Cody is fucking himself over. He's ruining his game. However, the only problem is that this now causes a problem for me. Because if I back Christian, but we don't have the numbers, Cody is going to see that we both turned on him, and it's going to be hella awkward in Traitors Tower. However, if I don't vote for him, and there is the numbers, it's going to make me look a bit sus that I didn't help get a traitor out. So it is just a case of, how do you play the game? Do you play it smart or do you play it safe? It's an interesting choice, because I think Sari should vote for Cody. I think she needs to cement herself as a faithful. I think Christian is actually playing a bit of a better game than I thought he was going to, and actually could make it further in this game. But Cody seems to be the weak link. I really thought it was going to be Christian, but Cody seems to be the weak link. Maybe playing Big Brother twice hasn't helped him that much, because yeesh is all I'm going to say. Yeesh. So, heading into the round table, this is where things got interesting. The round table started with Angelica basically being like, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on. What is going on here? I feel like I have conversations with everyone and I just leave more confused than I started. And I appreciate that from her, but I also feel like she's evidently not having good enough conversations with people, because there are definitely conversations that people are having where they are suspicious, but I have not seen a single person talk game with Angelica. And maybe that's why no one's talking game with her, is because she can't talk game back. So I almost wonder whether it's just worth taking her out of the game, not here, but like the traitors, because she's a bit of a wild card. she could swing in any direction. If the pendulum falls on one of them, she could swing the vote and vote for them. So rather than having someone dangerous in a swing vote, you could just take her out of the game. It's a smart decision. But Kate basically was like, I am so sick of this game. Please, please vote me out. I want to go. I want to go home. Please vote me out. Once again, I don't think we've ever seen someone do this. I don't think it's going to work. I think people... I don't know whether this is an insanely good idea for a play or whether this could horrifically backfire. If I was a traitor and I just started being like, oh, please vote me out. Please, I want to go home. Please vote me out. Oh, I can't be bothered. And just being like a detriment to the faithful. But also so obviously like, oh, I can't be able to play anymore. Why would a traitor want to do that? It's almost like a great double bluff. But obviously, for Kate, it's not a double bluff. She is faithful. But I almost wonder, like, as a traitor, would that be a good play? Or would it be a potential fuck up on your part? Because if you made a wrong move, if you make that choice, you've got to stick to it. You've got to stick to your guns. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's an interesting decision she's made. Then people started making points about Rachel being very, very competitive. So that means that she's a traitor. And the fact that she really, really wanted a shield was not proof that she's a faithful. And I was like, well, okay. It's not fair to be like, oh, someone's competitive, therefore they're a traitor. Because, Cody, you've played Big Brother twice and apparently won once of those times. So, you're competitive as well. So, I don't think you can say that to anybody, because I feel like to a certain degree in this game, everybody's competitive. Everybody wants to do well. Everyone wants to get as far as possible. So it's just bad evidence on Cody's part. And honestly, Rachel then turned it back on Cody, along with Steph. And I thought that was actually really good. There's a lot more evidence or sort of suspicion on Cody than there is with Rachel, because a lot of people are backing Rachel up, being like, I actually don't think it is Rachel. I don't think it is. I think she's fine. But like, Cody's like, no, I feel like it is. Why? I just feel like it is. You know how like Sam in Australia 2 was like, oh, we've got to vote Ash. Oh, why do we need to vote Ash? Because she's a traitor. Yeah, but how do you know she's a traitor? Oh, she just is. Huh? What's going on here? What? You need some better evidence than just she's competitive. Because everyone in this fucking game is competitive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't want to participate in a show like this. What's going on? What's happening here? Rachel then accidentally misspoke about Angelica not wanting the shield. And she was like, that's not what I said. What I said was, I don't want to lose the team money. But if other people are willing to help me get the shield, then I'll be selfish and take it. And Rachel was like, oh, my bad. Sorry, I must have misheard the situation or misread it or whatever. I feel like this vote is coming down to Rachel, Kate, or Cody. And that's when Sari was speaking up and she went, I don't think it's Rachel. I don't think it's Kate. And then Cody went, well, who do you think it is? And then she looked really, really uncomfortable. And then the episode fucking ended. What do you mean the episode ended halfway through a round table? What? Whose decision was it to have the round table end before someone actually went home? What whose idea was that? That was a horrendous decision. Oh my goodness. I like genuinely one of the worst cliffhangers ever. Not because it was like, oh my god, I really, really need to know. It was because, what the fuck were you thinking? I don't think we've ever seen a cliffhanger on a Traitors episode that's ended halfway through a round table. That's just, it's not okay, because you're breaking up the format of the show for the sake of like a little bit of drama, I guess. Like, So I actually don't know who's gone home. I can't tell you guys because I haven't watched the next episode. So I'm recording this, I'm going to edit it, I'm going to upload it, and then I'm going to watch the next episode. And then I'll probably be back on here absolutely fuming and raging, because what sort of an editing choice is that? I understand you got to stick to 45 minutes, but like, what? Oh, it's because they fucked up at the end of the last episode by ending it on the cliffhanger of who's going to walk through the door. Of course it wasn't fucking Shelby. It was Alan. Who else knows you're there? The host of the show. Why are you so surprised? Oh, I'm so done. I'm really hoping Cerise says Kobe and they can get Kobe out of there and then the game can actually start heating up a little bit, because currently we're just like, oh, it's Kate, oh, it's Rachel, oh, it's Cody, oh, it's Cody. But like, we're not actually making any headway. Come on, Faithfuls, you can do this. I believe in you. I don't, because Cerise in the game and she's absolutely smashing it. She's going so under the radar, it's crazy. She's basically Amanda from season 1 of UK, where like everyone loves her so much that there's no way she could be the traitor. No possible way. I just hope Cerise doesn't fuck it up. Okay, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm pissed off about the round table. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode, and make sure you keep on ranting. See you later. Bye now.